Welcome to our third NICE Capacity Building webinar, which is focused on planning tools for integration of NBS for water treatment in cities. The webinar is channeled by UbN by Nature, and here is the agenda for today. An introduction to the topic will be given by me, representing ICLE Europe, on this third NICE Capacity Building webinar, also introducing our speakers. Then we will have the input from our speakers, Dr. Jan Friesen and Dr. Maria Chiara Lipera from Helmholtz Centre for Environmental Research in Leipzig, and Dr. Dan Nguyen Phuoc from Ho Chi Minh City University of Technology. After this, there will be an audio discussion, and finally we will close our webinar with some final remarks and conclusions. Dr. Nguyen Phuoc Dang, professor at Ho Chi Minh City University of Technology, Vietnam, National University, is centered on water and wastewater treatment, water reuse management, and solid waste disposal and management, with a special interest in the application of anaerobic membrane bioreactors for biogas production and nutrient recovery. He is also concerned on the monitoring of contaminants of emerging concern and the implementation of nature-based solutions for urban water treatment. Besides of his research, he is also participating in consultancy projects with local authorities, including the Department of Natural Resources and Environment, the Department of Construction, and water-related companies such as Saicon Water Supply Company. Dr. Maria Chiara Lipera is a young researcher working on the MultiSource project, Horizon 2020 project, at the Helmholtz Centre for Environmental Research in Leipzig. She is an environmental engineer, graduated from the Politecnico of Milano, and has acquired experience during the PhD at the Center on Managed Aquifer Recharge Techniques. She is currently working on the development of tools for the spatial planning of water-sensitive infrastructures in the context of cities, especially for the reduction of combined sewage overflow. Her topics of interest are innovative strategies in water management to cope with climate change conditions. Finally, Dr. Jan Friesen. He is a senior researcher at the Center of Environmental Biotechnology from the Helmholtz Centre for Environmental Research in Leipzig. He leads the working group of water-sensitive infrastructure planning, and his background is in eco-hydrology, with current research on spatio-economic planning of nature-based solutions and multifunctional blue and green infrastructures for urban and rural settings. He's been also working in several projects in sub-Saharan Africa and the MENA and Gulf region, with a focus that has often been given to the data-scarce regions and the utilization of large global datasets and remote sensing data. He's interested in developing water management planning tools to support the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, especially number 6 and number 11. The UbN by Nature program, as most of you already know, it's developed for fostering NBS. This webinar has a special focus on the step 4 of the program. How can we foster commitment to develop action plans with a long-term vision? Some of the key aspects that we need to check in this case is convincing local decision and policy makers, facilitating outlining of action plans, always developed co-participatory with the citizens, gaining commitment, supporting more concrete actions, and developing financing, business, and governance models. You can check more information on the UbN by Nature and also on the step 4 commit and plan in the links provided in this slide. We are supported by the projects, the Horizon 2020 projects NICE and MultiSource, and the speeches today will be from partners from the MultiSource project. These two projects are working on enhancing natural treatment solutions. And the idea is that we can use a range of different technologies, nature-based technologies, assessing different kinds of urban wastewater under different weather conditions. So pilots are being tested in a range of locations. These pilots are mainly based on the implementation of hybrid subsurface wetlands to cope with wastewater and combined sewage overflow, rain gardens to treat stormwater mainly, also CSO, and green walls and vegetated roofs for grey water. One interesting aspect is that MultiSource is bringing together European pilots with international partners. Today we have the privilege to host the speech of one of them, representing the city of Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, which opens us the opportunity to exchange knowledge and incorporate concepts that can be explored in a different sociocultural and climatological context. We will be talking about the work that the Water Sensitive Infrastructure Planning Group is developing at the Helmholtz Centre for Environmental Research, led by Dr. Jan Friesen, on the development of a planning tool to be designed within a block scale level, but to be applied also city-wide, assessing the best cost-benefit solutions for water management and bringing a more decentralized approach. In this sense, current needs that has been identified are defining urban scenarios that has this more decentralized wastewater treatment approach, the inclusion of certain types of water treatment NBS that can enhance reducing the current pressure on the conventional centralized storm drain systems and sewage systems, and comparing the conventional to the alternative scenarios, which are incorporating those NBS that promote mainly the water treatment, retention, and infiltration. This is somehow supporting step 4, as we are integrating a new tool that might enhance convincing stakeholders. So our question mark will be, how can we include these planning tools into the decision-making process for citywide planning? We know that these urban scenarios that are modeled at the block scale can help to demonstrate the efficiency of a different alternative solution. We could call this solution hybrid, as we are incorporating green-blue infrastructure together with gray infrastructure. And we're basically using this to attenuate flow peaks, to reduce the presence of pollutants that are introduced into the water bodies, and to mitigate our impacts from human activities with the increased nutrient loads, chemicals, and emerging contaminants of concern released into the stormwater, the storm drain systems, and into the water bodies. And then we will also reflect on the urban reality of Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, which is interesting by the fact that their rainfall patterns are influenced by a monsoon weather. So they are dealing with prolonged periods of frequent medium to intense rainstorm events. And also by the fact that Vietnamese landscapes have a very interesting and intimate relationship with water. So the floodable landscapes and the natural treatment systems for wastewater management that are there could be somehow recovered and used for recovering these hydrological and treatment processes that are needed within the city context. So if we look at Ho Chi Minh, this is one of those developing cities that suffered a rapid urbanization in the late decades. There is a new relationship with the waterscapes, with a large number of inhabitants in a dense hydrological landscape that are more and more exposed to recurring flooding and high levels of water pollution. So if we look at the future trend, urbanization will increase, the water quantity and quality related challenges will exacerbate, and thus we need to start planning for the implementation of a more urban water sensitive approach. We will talk about this during the speech provided by Dr. Dan Nguyen. There will be some reflection on the concepts of a water-sensitive urban design. The more sustainable urban water management will be focused on mainly incorporating existing knowledge on natural wastewater treatment, enabling the integration of the well-known nature-based solutions, not only into the discussion, but also into the legislation and into the strategic planning agenda of the city, and a reflection on how to mitigate the current water quantity and quality issues, treating the contaminants at the source. So incorporating a more decentralized approach, recovering hydrological processes, mitigating flow peaks, and treating different contaminants through the retention, infiltration, filtration, and evapotranspiration processes provided by these systems. For more information on urban by nature, please visit the site, our website, and also find in the YouTube channel all the recordings from the webinar today. And here there is my contact for those who want to contact me and have some more questions addressing this topic. So thank you very much.